Hello and welcome to the Dream Real podcast. This is the place to be if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in New York real estate. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. We want to keep bringing you great content and awesome professionals within the real estate space. Today is no different. I am with Orlando de los Santos of Blazestone Capital. Orlando, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glad you're here today. Tell us a little bit about you and Blazestone Capital.
Sure. So I'm originally from Dominican Republic. I grew up over there, and I came to the United States when I was 14 years old. I always loved real estate. I always was passionate about finance and helping people. And somehow, some way, I ended up in real estate. I'm loving it every second of it.
Have you always been on this side of real estate, or?
No. So my career actually started working for a commercial finance brokerage firm back in 2016, helping small business owners with their working capital needs. And after that, I just fell in love with it. I just fell in love with helping business owners secure their working capital to get a project going, so forth and so on. And as the years, I transitioned into real estate lending. So I have been doing that and business lending for about 4 years. 4 years.
Was there anything early on that kind of was the springboard for you to be passionate about this business? Or?
I would say freedom, of course. It's the ability to set your own schedule, uncap earnings, and just the lifestyle that comes with it, and the ability to really, if you look at things, be able to have a meaningful career and build long-term wealth with it as well.
Right. So I know obviously the financing world is kind of broad. Where is Blazestone Capital positioned within the market?
I would say we act as more of capital advisors. So a lot of my borrowers, either they're looking to finance their next fix and flip project, ground up construction project, but oftentimes they have other projects that they might entertain, such as buying a business or something like that. So I act as an advisor for their business. I laid out the game plan. Hey, this is what we can do. This is what can be done. What do you think is the best path to move forward?
Now, where do you see the market today in terms of where most of your clients are? I mean, I know that ranges as well, but do you find people are taking those steps forward? They're a little bit more cautious right now?
Definitely a lot more cautious right now. The economy, it's a little shaky, a lot of uncertainty at the moment. But borrowers are still buying. Deals are still happening. Not as fast or the volume is there, but the market's still going.
Let's start with the fix and flip. Mm-hmm. Right. What are you seeing in regards to that market with home prices where they are?
Right now, the biggest challenge is definitely construction cost and after repair values. Right now properties are sitting a lot longer in the market, so that affects the after repair value of some properties. So what you're seeing on the lending space primarily is lenders are becoming more conservative. Lending criteria is becoming more tightened. Credit has to be higher to achieve a specific LTV. Obviously, you're dealing with rental income. Sure. If the interest rate has to make sense. So all those variables affect the financing at the moment.
So obviously, a lot of the numbers work together there. What are some of the ways that a potential investor can prepare themselves to better align with the best programs that are out there?
I always recommend my borrowers to make sure that they have the right capital, to make sure that they have the money secured if they're going to start the business.
Can you define that for what do you mean by the right capital?
What I mean is having the capital necessary to cover down payment and closing costs.
Got it.
Got it. When it comes to fix and flips, we're able to finance up to 90% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab, depending on the FICO or the experience of the client. And obviously, the property has to qualify as well.
So if you can, some examples of how a property would either qualify or disqualify.
So let's say rural properties, especially if you're buying a rural property, most lenders, they will not lend on such rural properties just because of population, economic growth, etc. That's one factor that can affect the LTV and the rate. Another thing is buying either too high or the construction cost is way over the head on the property.
Sure.
So I always recommend, getting at least 3 contractual quotes just to be on the safe side.
So I would imagine that the use of the property is a major factor because you have to show long-term, is it appreciation or potential profitability? What are some of the factors there?
Correct. So primarily we're looking at the potential profitability of the deal. So we always order the appraisal just to make sure that the after repair value is there. Make sure that we get the assets value, but we also take an extra step and we take a look at the rental analysis of the property, just in case if for whatever reason the ARV came a little bit low, but you're able to collect, let's say, $1,500 a month rent, the deal still makes sense.
Sure.
We just have to restructure the deal to make sure that we can still close.
And that's factored in by looking at the market and seeing what like properties are getting for in terms of rental income.
Correct.
Got it. What's the best way to assess that? Do you pull together comps in a similar way that we do in the real estate side?
Yes. So either the way I like to work is I like to have my borrowers send a CMA originally just to verify whatever initial term sheet I'm giving them is the most accurate possible. Because what oftentimes happens is we order the appraisal, we submit the application. Let's say a borrower was hoping for $300,000 after repair value. The appraisal comes back at $250,000. So what happens? Then I have to have that conversation with the borrower that they have to either renegotiate the purchase price or they will have to come up with more money at the closing table, just because of that $50,000 difference.
Got it. And do you find any? You work on Long Island and throughout New York State. Where are you mainly based?
We're based on Long Island, but we're able to lend all 50 states.
Oh, in all 50 states?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So as long as the deal makes sense, the client has the credit and the capital, we can make something happen.
Do you see any particular trends in certain types of properties being purchased and built upon, certain industries out there right now that seem to be kind of hot in the current market?
I would say mixed use. It's hot at the moment. I would say mixed use definitely. A multifamily. It's inventory is tight. We need a lot more housing.
Define for our audience mixed use. So
mixed use is a piece of property, a building that has a commercial component. So it could be a building with 2 apartments on top, a retail office space at the bottom. That would be considered mixed use.
And you see a lot of towns, particularly, I mean, you probably point them out on the North Shore as well, but one that comes to mind is Patchogue and what they've been able to do. You look at the transition that's happened over the course of, I guess, probably the last 10, 15 years. Time's moving pretty fast now. Yes. And there are other municipalities that are looking into more mixed use. So any places, I don't know if you have any inside information on some places that are better for that than not right now.
Not at the moment. I was actually reading an article that this realty posted on LinkedIn that they were planning to do some major redevelopment. I'm not sure exactly which town, but I will have to double get you back on that one.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I was very involved with the local civic association in the town of Babylon, and it's amazing how certain percentage of the population is all for it, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can create, not only do you enhance the business district, but you can create some affordable housing. But then there are, other other folks that feel like it's the term that was used was urbanization, right? That we don't want Long Island to feel like Queens, right?
Yes.
I was at a town event that's exactly what was being said. So your part of mixed use is the commercial property with the apartments on top, correct? Long Island, can you have how many levels can you have in a place that's zoned for mixed use?
Honestly, it would strictly depend on the zoning laws of that specific town. I believe it's 4 units total. I'm not really too sure
Right.
of the number.
I know it varies
Yes, it varies.
from place to place, but I mean, I guess zoning is a big part of it, right? Because if you can have a grandiose idea and you can have the property that you love and you can envision it there, but if it's just not going to line up with zoning, that's an issue. How does that impact the overall financing of that? Is that something that you as the investor need to do all your due diligence before you go for the capital, or is that something that the lender side will also investigate?
That falls from primarily on the borrower, especially on the type of project that they're looking to build on. All we care is that the plans are approved. So if we have approved plans, a concise package, the deal will go through. But when it comes to zoning, that's really the challenge when it comes to the developer. It's what can be built on. Is it profitable enough? Is it worth to even build on it? And those factor into the profitability of the deal overall.
Hi, my name is Tyrone. I'm the owner and trainer here at Fly Fitness. We work with children of all ages, sports-specific training, soccer, basketball, lacrosse, football, you name it, we do it here. We also work with the beginner, the person that has never been in the gym before. We get you from point A, point B, and we take you through the alphabet of training. We also do rehab, ankles, back, knees, shoulders. The older we get, the more fragile we are. So those things that I just mentioned, those are things that we're definitely going to need help with. That's what we specialize in here at Fly Fitness. Come and join us.
So that's on the commercial side. Let's talk about back to residential property, rental property loans. That's something that you cover as well, right?
Yes, we do.
What are some factors? Let's say I own a home and now I would like to build a portfolio of rental properties. What do I have to take into consideration when pursuing that?
All we have to take in consideration is your credit and your down payment, because we're not taking consideration your tax returns. Because if it's an investment property, we're primarily looking at the rental income that the property is going to generate to qualify for it for the mortgage.
Sure. And rental income. So you look. Correct me if I'm wrong. You look at the overall situation, the purchase price, the monthly cost, rental income, and then that factors into the debt to income on the side of the actual borrower. Is that correct?
It's considered a debt service coverage ratio. So it's kind of like your debt to income on the property side.
Okay.
So as long as the property, well, depending on the guidelines of the specific lender that you're working with, some lenders, they lend on vacant properties. Some lenders don't. Some lenders, they're looking for a specific debt to income ratio. Debt service coverage ratio of at least 1. Some are able to lend if the mortgage is a little bit higher than the rent. So that's why it's important to really go through the deal, understand what the deal entails. That way we can package it to the right lender that will finance the deal.
Got it. So Blazestone Capital and where do you come into that part of the deal? Are you sourcing, finding the lenders as well, or are you full scale providing the funding?
Both, depending on the structure of what we end up doing with the borrower. If it's when it comes to business lending, we broker primarily. When it comes to DSCR, we are correspondent lenders, so we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to the rate and the structure of the loan.
Okay, excellent. And what about? I see. Is foreclosure bailout something that you
Yes.
assist with?
Yes.
So you see that trend rising or staying
Rising.
static?
Rising.
Okay.
Especially nowadays, all the trillions of dollars that have to be refinanced sometime this year or next year. A lot of borrowers and investors, they have to refinance. So they're getting into maturity dates. The deal doesn't make sense no more. What other options are out there?
Right.
Specifically, when you're dealing with a new investor or borrower that is about to lose their property, for whatever the case may be, that program is an option for them as long as they qualify for it.
Now, how do those programs typically work?
That will be strictly mainly asset based. So we just are like a traditional refinance. We look at the equity, we look at how much is the debt is owed, and we're able to lend 50% of whatever the existing value is, and hopefully that is able to pay off whatever other liens or other lenders that have to be paid off to save the property.
Right. But you are seeing an increase in that.
Yes, yes.
What do you think is the major factor for that?
I will say inflation has played a factor. Overall cost, income wise, as well as I would say the major factor had to do with the increased interest rates that we had over the past 2-3 years. A lot of investors went in when the interest rate started to go up, so property values took a dip, and that really caught a lot of investors empty-handed because at that point either they cannot refinance and they cannot sell the property.
Right.
So what do you do?
So how does a bailout program, like if it behaves very similar to a refinance, why is it that this type of program can come in and help versus a typical refinance?
Because of the LTV. Since you're only lending 50%, 45% of the existing value of the property, you're not really care about the FICO. You don't really care about the rental income. So as long as there's enough equity where, for example, the client owes $400,000 and the property is worth $1 million, we lend $500,000 of that, and we can structure where we can take 12 months reserves. That way, the borrower doesn't really have to make those payments to get them in a much better situation. And then next year, hopefully, we're able to refinance them into a more permanent solution.
So it's where you can provide a solution that's somewhat of a stopgap until things get better, and then you could help them to make some additional moves. So an organization like yours is very proactive in being able to not just maybe stopping the bleeding today, but also how do we help you to move forward with other financing options going forward?
Correct.
So I think in just talking with you there, just through this conversation, even if you're looking to just get into the space, there are options if there are hiccups that you don't see. Because I mean, I'm sure people that you work with in that capacity, they didn't expect to be in a tough position. But you're saying that there are programs that could be somewhat of a safety net to help them to maintain the property and keep going and to hold on to the investment until it does reach its potential.
Yes.
Awesome. So SBA loans. Let's dive into that.
That is something that we recently started doing a lot more of, just because of the necessity of the market. You have investors, borrowers that are always looking for the next big deal, for the next big project. So oftentimes what I'm trying to do is educate my clients in, hey, if you're looking to buy this piece of commercial property, you have a business, why not buy it, put your business there, do an SBA loan, we can get you some working capital and finance the real estate component of it.
Okay.
And then you have a 25-year term.
What are all the factors that go into an SBA loan in regards to both personal versus business credit? How do both of those factor in?
I would say it's a very comprehensive SBA. We're looking at the client, FICO, experience. We're looking at the existing business, especially if you're looking to buy a business or start a business. We look at the financials. So we take all those things into consideration to make sure that the business and the client are financially sound.
And do you find there are particular industries that are really prime for that right now?
Yes, a lot of movement in the construction services space,
Okay.
HVAC, AC heating, general contracting. So you see a lot of individuals looking to get into those type of businesses through SBA.
Do you feel like, I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that we need more folks in trade. Do you feel like that's a factor in terms of there being an incentive to get financing for those type of businesses?
Definitely a factor, especially with the new administration doing a big push for American businesses. We need to invest more in skilled labor. We need to invest more in developing the next workforce. We need more guidance on transitioning those type of businesses. For example, if you have a big real estate portfolio and you have a business and you decide to sell, you need the right guidance for that. You need to be able to work with a specific buyer to qualify them for them to be able to get that piece of business. So I would say that's what's really happening at the moment right now. A lot of transition.
Are you a homeowner who is looking to expand your home so you have enough space for everything you need in your home? Or do you want to renovate because the interior just doesn't work for your needs anymore? Or are you someone who's looking for a property, but nothing that you've been looking at really fits what you need? Well, my name is Catherine Serrano Sosa. I'm the founder of Rooted Architecture Studio, and I can help you bring those renovations and adjustments to life. At Rooted Architecture Studio, we focus on creating meaningful, inclusive, client-centric designs for homeowners and investors. We walk you through the whole process of design and construction and making sure that you understand what's going on, but take away all the layers so you can sit back and just focus on the deliverables of what we're designing. We make sure that your non-negotiables are integrated and your wants and needs are integrated to the best of our abilities. So if you are looking to do anything that I just discussed, or just have ideas that you might want to talk about what the possibilities may be, give us a call and reach out through social media as well, and we'll be happy to help you. And if you're looking for a new property, make sure to connect with Dream Select Realty. They're the right people to help you find the right property for you and make sure that your needs are integrated. Or if we're renovating, we can all collaborate together to bring that vision to life.
But shifting,
Yes.
and with the, we don't have to get into it here, but with the AI revolution that's going on right now, there are so many jobs out on the corporate side that are kind of in the balance now. But if you're in a trade, and AI is not doing plumbing,
Right, you're set.
AI is not, at least right now. We don't have robots that are going to install your central AC system, right? So those may be good. Those may be good moves if you're listening right now and you're young and you're looking to get into something. Then, and also you're saying that there are programs that are available right now.
Yes. For example, if somebody was looking to buy a construction company, and you have a really good relationship with the seller, through the SBA, you're able to finance a business with zero money down.
Really?
Yes.
Zero money down?
Zero money down.
Wow.
The SBA allows you to finance up to 90% of the purchase of the business, and allows you to have a second position note as well. So if you have a really good relationship with the seller of the business, they can carry essentially that 10% that you will have to bring to the table to get you that 0% down.
Wow. So you could have a turnkey business, and for the most part, that's advantageous in most cases, like you said, with a good relationship from the seller to allow that, maybe keep some stake there as well. That's awesome. So, in terms of business loans in general, do you see more people looking to get capital for the start of new businesses? Maintain. What about the individual that is looking to build upon their current business?
I would say it has exploded tremendously. The alternative business space, especially those looking for lending on their existing business. The best way is the SBA. It's a lot more paperwork intensive, but you get the best rates and the best terms possible.
Right. And what is the backing of an SBA loan?
The federal government.
Got
So
it.
the federal government, I believe, they insure up to 75% of the debt. So it makes sense for banks to
Sure.
lend because the government essentially is almost backing the whole loan.
Well, that makes perfect sense, right? So, and to me, I see it as strong for everyone. Strong for for the person that's inspired to start their own business. It's strong for our communities to have, more people, especially in trades like you're talking about, home services. But just in general, throughout the country, to have stronger businesses that are not, because let's be honest, you start a business turnkey and you don't get funding, you better have some capital on hand.
Yes.
You
Yes.
better have some money in the bank, and not everybody is in that position per se. Well, give us some more factors that you're seeing out there in the market. I mean, look, we could probably keep going because you cover a lot of areas, right? But what are some things that you're seeing and some tips that you would like to give anyone in our audience here that may be looking for capital for either rental income or to start their own business?
Sure. So some tips. Well, I would say get educated. You don't know what you don't know, and like people say, people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yes.
So as long as you're knowledgeable, as long as you're educated on the topic, and I would say one of the most important things is being able to put a team together.
Define that for our audience.
I would say being able to put a team together as far as the right people that will help you achieve that goal. Everybody wants to be a big shot. Everybody wants to be an investor, do the big deals. But those things don't happen on your own.
Right.
It's the team that make that happen. So you as a new investor, you're gonna make sure that you have a reliable contractor, you have a reliable agent, you have a solid financial partner, and you have all the other professionals that will complement and make sure that that deal makes sense, and they're not gonna put you in a position to fail.
It's good advice. As we close, I'd love to hear a success story or two. One that you came across somebody who had a big dream and you were able to meet them with the capital for that dream and kind of where they are today. You have any of those?
I would say I met this investor out of PA about 3 years ago. Nothing. He doesn't speak English at all. He's a IT holder, and he had some capital. Him and his workers just wanted to get in. So we educated them. We financed their first project, and then the second project came in, and then the third project came in. So in less than 2 years, he now has 4 properties under his belt.
Wow. And how many years did you say?
2.
2 years. Imagine that. 2 years from now, meet with somebody here like Orlando, have a big dream. Orlando could provide you with the financing for that. And then next thing you know, you're a multi-property owner and your net worth is growing and growing.
Yep.
Right?
That's the goal.
Using money to make money. Right?
That's right.
How could someone get in touch with you?
They can get in touch at 516-298-5532, or they can email me at orlando@blazestone.capital.com. Our website is live at www.blazestone.capital.com, or you can just send us a DM on Instagram at Blazestone Capital Holdings, LLC.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you for watching as well. You're listening to the Dream is Real podcast, and you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Dream Select Realty, on X at Dream Select Home. If you want to be part of the program, go to or email hometeam@dreamselectrealty.com. Until next time, hey, like, share, subscribe, because you don't want to miss an episode. And remember, the dream is real.